Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Friday evening. Hope you've had a lovely week. If you're joining us on Facebook, it's lovely to have you with us this evening and I hope you enjoy this practice. Our patrons, of course, could be doing this at any time on demand. So lovely to have you with us. Our practice this evening is going to have a lot of focus on abs and core. So yeah, plenty to work on there. As always, throughout the practice, only do what feels right for you today. Listen to your body the whole way through. And let us begin by lying down. Lying down with your feet about hip width apart. If you have the space, let your arms come out into a T. Soften your shoulder blades into the mat, relaxing the whole body, letting go of everything that's going on in your life and in the world, and just taking this time to connect your mind with your body through your breath. And let your attention go to your breath now as you inhale through your nose into your belly and exhale through your nose. Allowing the belly to fill on the inhale and release on the exhale. And on your next exhale, drawing up your pelvic floor by narrowing the gap between both seat bones and your pubic bone and tailbone. So lifting the pelvic floor, draw the belly button in and up to just bring in that engagement of the core. And once again, on your next exhale, engaging the core, drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up, and holding this engagement for 2 breaths. And we're going to use that breath throughout the practice to help us keep the core engaged. So bringing the arms now down by your side, bending your knees, and just lifting the legs up so the feet are looking at the ceiling. So depending on your own body, you might find that quite challenging to do at the start. So your knees can be as bent as they need to be at this point in the practice. As we take 5 breaths here, remembering to engage that core. And bending the knees, let them come down onto the floor, rolling over onto your side, just coming up to sit. And as you sit here, just drawing back a little bit so that you feel you need to bring the core into it to hold you in this position. You can rest your hands on your shins for a little bit of support, or maybe on the backs of your thighs. As again, we take 5 breaths here, keeping that pelvic floor nicely raised, belly button in and up. And just ensuring the shoulders are nicely soft, the jaw is released. So as we keep our core engaged, we want to ensure that it's not resulting in the rest of our body tightening. One more breath. And then coming to sit upright, holding on to your toes, again working with your body for this pose in whatever works right for you. So we're going to lift the feet up. If you can bring them all the way up like this, do. But if that's not available to you, anywhere in between here and here is good. So maybe you'll be like this. It doesn't matter. Just do what is available to you and your body today. And once you're in your best version of this pose, once again, let your attention go to your core, lifting that pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And let's take 3 more breaths here. And then bending the knees, and this time just letting them hover off the ground for a nice boat pose. So again, you can have your knees as bent as you want, or for more of a challenge, let the legs open out a little bit more. And 3 more breaths here. Really good if you've managed to stay up for that. Well done. Coming back to let the feet come down, sitting up tall. Let the legs stretch out long in front of you, toes pointing upwards. As we sit here with your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, allowing length and space to come into the spine. And then taking a little bend of the knees, we're going to fold forward from the hips, so just hinging here to allow your lower rib cage come in contact with your thighs. And then from here, you again just work with your body with what's right for you today. So if you want to open the legs out a little straighter, do, but keep that connection between your lower rib cage and your thighs. Good. Hooking in with the breath here to help you get a little deeper into this pose. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen the fold. Three more breaths. And then making your way back up to sit up tall once again. Let's swing the legs behind us and come on to all fours. So your hips are over your knees and your feet are straight out behind you. And just step your hands a couple of inches in front of your shoulders as we're going to come into our downward dog. So curling the toes, let the hips come back towards the heels, lifting the knees away from the mat, and lift the pelvis up, pushing it back towards the back of the mat. Keep the knees bent and the heels away from the mat as you just begin to stretch the legs out by pedaling those legs. Gaze towards the belly button. Just drawing your attention to the distance between your ears and your shoulders, drawing the shoulders back a little. And then when you're ready, coming to your point of stillness in your downward dog. And 3 more breaths here. Again, allowing your breath to encourage that core to engage by drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. Good, I'm moving from here into a plank. So let those feet come out nice and long behind you so that your hips aren't too high. Shoulders are now over the wrists, little micro bend in the elbows, and having the heels over the toes. Good, keeping the gaze on the mat. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to come down onto our forearms. And again, let's take 3 breaths here. So the elbows are under the shoulders. And then lowering the knees down and the belly and the forehead. Let the feet come open out. And stretch the arms in front of you for a nice full body stretch. One more breath here. And then drawing the arms down by your side, we're going to lift the forehead and the chest away from the mat. So really engage the core here to help you. So before you start, drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up, and then peeling the chest and forehead away from the mat for a nice snake pose. One more breath here. And lowering the forehead and chest onto the mat. Bring the hands either side of the chest as you lift up onto all fours. Adjust the hands as much as you need to as we make our way once again up into our downward dog. Encouraging those hips to go towards the back of the mat. So you're looking more like a slide than a V. Two more breaths here. And then making your way back into your plank. Good. And from here, let's lift the right leg up. Two more breaths. Keeping that right toe pointing down towards the mat. And then letting the right leg come down and lifting the left leg up. So you don't have to lift it very high, just lift it up to about hip height. One more breath. And then pushing it back into your downward dog once more. Great stuff. Engaging the core, drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. Three more breaths. Let's raise that right leg up, lifting it up as high as it's willing to go. And taking 3 more breaths here. Good, letting that right leg come down onto the mat. And then lifting the left leg up. Two more breaths. Good, and letting the left leg come down, bending the knees, coming down onto the mat and just push back into a nice resting pose. And then when you're ready for your last sequence, coming back up again onto all fours, stepping it out into your plank. This time turning your right foot onto its side. Step the left foot into the center of the mat. And then raise the arm up and raise the gaze. Keeping this hip, which hip is this? The right hip, up and away from the mat. Good. Keep a softness in that right elbow. So we don't ever want to lock any of our limbs. You want the muscles to be working rather than putting pressure on the joints by locking them. One more breath. And coming back into your plank. Bring the knees down, push the hips back, and take a rest. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So when you're ready, coming up into your plank, This time coming onto the side of that left foot, stepping the right foot into the center of the mat and raising that right hand up, raise the gaze. Good. Keeping the core nicely engaged here. 2 more breaths. And then letting the hand come down, coming back into your plank. Bring the knees down. Once more, pushing back into your child's pose. And when you're ready, making your way down on to your back to lie down on the mat, letting the feet flop out to the side, the palms facing upwards. And before I bring you through your final few minutes of rest, relaxation and meditation, I just want to thank you for joining me in this practice. If you're joining us tonight on Facebook, you might like to consider becoming a patron. For just €5 a month, we send you 3 practices every week to do in your own time, whenever suits you, as many of them as you wish, or indeed as few of them as you wish. And we do a monthly challenge to try and encourage everybody to complete 4 practices each month. So when you complete a practice, just give us a like or a thumbs up and let us know. And you'll make it onto our roll of honor if you complete 4 practices. But for now, it's time to let your body absorb all of that work that you've just done. As you totally relax and let go. Relaxing your toes and your feet, your lower legs, knees and upper legs. Relaxing your glutes and your pelvic area. Letting go the whole of your back. Letting go your belly and the whole of your front. Letting go your shoulder blades and shoulders, armpits, upper arms, elbows, forearms, hands and fingers. Letting go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips and tongue. The whole of your body, just let it go. And pausing here for gratitude to yourself. Let your attention go to your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose.